Always great catching up with Maycee Barber. We're here at the UFCX. First off, how is it being here and not having a fight? It's kind of nice, right? Especially off a big win.
Yeah, coming off a huge win and being able to interact with all the fans is like incredible. This has also been a very long time coming because we haven't gotten to have an actual conversation in quite some time.
Well, for sure. I thought you were going to say in person. I was like, we have met in person. But no, yeah. No, I think I'm trying to remember the last time. It's been a while. But let's talk about that last win. Statement victory. A lot of women have not finished Amanda Ribas. How satisfying was that? Because especially coming off the Andrade Lee fight.
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I knew I needed a finish. I knew it was something I needed to go out there and do. And it was something that, like, I expected it, and I did it. And I was like, this is perfect. You know, this is something I needed to get done.
Do you feel like the style matchup as well kind of brought that out of you? Because Amanda was not just going to go out there and point fight. It was going to be a brawl going in.
Yeah, for sure. I do love a good brawl, you know, because I do know that I can take a punch and I'm going to give it back 10 times harder. So definitely worked out for me in the long, you know, in the fight and in the long run. And I think that stylistically, I think that it was a great fight.
When are you looking to fight again? I know we're here at the X, probably going to enjoy yourself, but do you have sort of an ideal timeline or card you want to compete on next?
Yeah, I think ideally October, probably October time. Just give my body just enough time to, you know, really reset and then get back into a solid camp and do it all over again, get another good win and another finish. Is
there an opponent in mind next? Because again, there's a big win that really should propel you up the rankings, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it really depends on, you know, what we talk about. But I mean, I love the idea of Lauren Murphy. She's ranked right above me. There's a few fights right in the 6, 7, 8 range. But I mean, we really have to see who's not booked and who's ready to fight because, you know, I'm ready to fight anyone.
I'm sort of guessing the catalyst for this would be like a veteran, someone that maybe's fought for the title, like Lauren fits that bill. Yeah.
I know the fight that I want back. I want to fight Alexa still.
100%. No, of course.
End goal. Like, I want my rematch. Like, that's what I want back.
Yeah, I'm just thinking timing-wise because obviously they're fighting.
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting, so if I don't have that one, then that would be probably, you know, something like that.
Well, have you talked to the UFC about, like, going to that card and, like, maybe sitting cage side, kind of like Julianna Pena did with Amanda Nunes?
I am actually planning on talking with the guys and Dana, Hunter, and Mick and figuring out that, and definitely figuring out getting their cage side for sure.
You and Julianna used to train a bit. What do you make of her trash talk post Amanda Nunes? Just curious your thoughts on that.
It to me is stupid. If I'm being honest, like I think that it was probably one of the most cringy things I've ever seen. You know, I think that Amanda had a phenomenal career, and I think that she is an incredible athlete. And who is to say that she cannot retire? You know, I really do believe that Julianna got off easy with Amanda retiring. You know, now she has the best chance of being the champ again and holding that belt, because I feel like if Amanda had chosen not to retire, that would be a completely different story.
Do you not feel like her trash talk should almost be directed at the fighters in the division that are actually going to compete? I think that's the other thing is, like, I get her being upset that Amanda retired, but why aren't you calling out Holly Holm or someone that's like actually a fight that could happen?
I would agree, and also I feel like as much as I hate on Julianna Pena, I mean, she's got people talking about her, so whether it's positive or whether it's negative, she's got it going on. So I do respect that aspect, but at the same time, like, leave Amanda alone. She's already chosen to retire. She has a family coming, her second child coming, and that's what she wants to do. You know, let the girl retire. You know, let her have her life and let her enjoy it, and definitely focus on. Yeah, taking that trajectory and being like, all right, cool, Amanda's out, well, I'm still the next person in line, and this is who I want, and this is what I'm going for, and I'm going to take that belt, you know?
Speaking of the top of your division in the fight we just referenced, of Shevchenko-Grasso, how do you see the rematch playing out?
You know, that's an interesting matchup because Valentina was such a dominant champion for so long, and Alexa Grasso is an incredible athlete as well, and she has the ability to expose the holes, you know, so both of them have the ability to expose the holes of the other person and capitalize on them. So it really will be an interesting one because, you know, I feel like they're both also the fighters that don't give a lot of mistakes. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't give a lot of holes. So it'll be really interesting to see how that fight goes. And it's not something that, you know, you can predict because I truly believe this is one of those fights that could go either way.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is Valentina sort of after the fight kind of made it out like, not that it was a fluke, but that she was sort of dominating the fight and that Alexa got her in a good position and finished her. Do you think that's accurate, or do you think that's a bit concerning that maybe she's not looking back at how close those rounds were?
No, I think that could be. I would have to watch the fight back, but I do not feel like that's completely an inaccurate statement. And also, I don't think, and I don't believe that Valentina is the type of fighter that, when she goes out and she does get exposed in a little bit, that she's going to make the same mistake twice. So I truly believe, Valentina knows what she's doing, and she's a very great, phenomenal fighter. And she's not going to make those mistakes again. She's going to go out there and she's going to be ready and she's going to be prepared and she's going to be, I truly believe that she's going to be a better fighter than she was in the last fight. So Alexa is also going to have her hands full, and I'm really excited to watch that fight.
Valentina's been not so complimentary towards you in the division. Did you look at that as at least she's paying attention, or do you kind of get annoyed when you hear stuff like that?
I honestly haven't heard a single thing she said, and I really don't care.
No, but I mean, at the very least, though, it's good for the division to, like people are keeping an eye on what you're doing. It's better to be it's better to be noticed than ignored, right? So that's part of it.
Absolutely. I mean, again, whether you get hate, whether you get love, it's still there. At least they're paying attention, and I mean, if I was somebody worth, like, if I wasn't anybody, they wouldn't be talking about me. So at least they're talking about me. It means that I'm doing something right. And whether she either believes that or she's a little bit concerned, I feel like for me, it's like, you wouldn't be talking if you weren't like, either you're extra confident and you're like completely sure of yourself, because there's times where I say, this girl's not nothing, she's not anything. So for me, I understand that, but at the same time, if she's throwing so much hate, it may be coming from a place of like, oh shit, she's coming,
I wouldn't say it's that, but it's just more like I've heard her say some things. And then another person I know you've been kind of linked to in the past is Erin Blanchfield. Obviously, big win for her over Andrade. She's fighting Talia Santos. Just first and foremost, what did you think of her win over Jessica?
I think that was a good win for Erin, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like something's up with Andrade where she just completely is a different fighter. She's not the Andrade that she used to be. And I feel like, Erin fought her on 4 days' notice. So to me, it's like Erin fought a 115er, someone who used to be a 115 at 4 days' notice. Good for her.
And she's fighting Talia Santos now. Some people feel like Santos did enough against Shevchenko in that fight to defeat her. How do you see that fight going?
I feel like that's going to be a very interesting fight. Again, Erin is a great fighter. She has a ton of skill, a lot of respect to her. And Talia Santos, same thing. Like, she was the one that I thought definitely had the opportunity to beat Valentina had she not gotten that, giant thing on her head. But it'll be an interesting fight, because I think that Talia is a great striker. I don't feel like Erin's striking is as refined, but at the same time, the striking that Erin Blanchfield has, it doesn't look like it's amazing, but at the same time, it works, and she makes it work. So it's a little bit different of a style. I mean, her grappling is phenomenal, so it'll be really, again, another interesting matchup, and really cool to see how that fight plays out.
What did you make of Erin trying to get a vacant title fight with Julianna at 135?
I mean, who doesn't want that fight? I mean, I understand that, and when I heard that Erin said that, I was like, well, I want that fight too, because I mean, I was with Julianna in the gym, and I was like, dude, I submitted her, so like, but I totally understand that, and of course, again, us girls are just trying to make a name for ourselves. So if you continue to push and you say things that you want, like, respect to Erin for calling that out. And I mean, if the UFC gives it to her, great. But
she's fighting. She's fighting Santos. So yeah, she's got Santos. Yeah, and then just last name in your division that it was a bit of a surprise. Rose Namajunas moving up. I know you are familiar with Rose, obviously. What do you think of her being in your division now?
That's interesting because Rose is not a big girl. I remember when I used to train with Rose, and she's not huge. She's very small. And so it'll be very interesting to see how that fight plays out. I mean, Rose, again, she has Trevor Whitman as her coach, and her striking and her ability to fight, like, Rose is one of the greatest. She's also another phenomenal athletes and fighters, and she, when she's on, she's on. I feel like, man, and though, if you get Rose and you break her mentally, she'll win. You know, Amanda will win. But at the same time, Rose and Trevor are honestly an unbreakable team, and it'll be really cool to see again how that fight plays out because when Rose is on, she's incredible.
I think it's very interesting, her and Manon. That'll be interesting. Okay, last one for me. How's your brother doing? Is he still fighting? What's the latest with him?
No, he's not fighting. He's great. I saw him in Jacksonville. He came out and filmed my stuff. My brothers are hunting. I mean, that's all they do. I mean, they hunt, they film. They work with me. They help me out, and I mean, they're just living life, you know. But they have a huge thing going on with thermals and hunting, and they're so much into it and filming. They have a YouTube channel, so yeah.
Have they ever hunted up in Canada? Because you know we got a lot of hunting up there.
I have not. I believe my dad has, but it would be cool. That would be a cool trip.
Yeah, certain parts, Alberta, British Columbia, there's a lot of good spots. Anyways, thank you so much for doing this. I know you're super busy. Anything you want to say, sponsors, social media, and the camera, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would not be here if it was not for my entire team of people supporting me. First Form, Toyo Tires, Kershaw Knives, Monster Energy. These guys are all incredible, and they are literally Team Future. You know, my team, my coaches, everybody here, and all the fans here at the UFCX. So it's incredible. Thank you for your time.
Of course. No, thank you. Appreciate it.